Welcome back to Persona 5, now featuring 100% less dildo talk. Can you use a swimsuit as a dildo? We will not be finding out this time or ever.
Swimsuit, you could if you filled it with like loose gravel.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, so there's a few places that I could go around and look at right now, but as you know, the first entrance into a dungeon in Persona is always the like preliminary investigation. We're gonna book it out of here pretty quick. So before we go straight into 100% cutscene territory, let's do at least a little bit of looking around.
Also, I want to point out that door has a number of currencies on there.
Yeah, it's I mean, you know, Futaba is supposed to be a hacker. She does hacking stuff, and so we get like. I know like the breakable objects are like cyber jars around here, not to be confused with the ones from Yu-Gi-Oh! And you see like UTF on each one of the doorways and like pillars and stuff. It's, once again, a very cool sort of aesthetic that they're going for. I like it.
Yep.
Why is it Egyptian if Futaba's not actually part of Medjet is kind of a question, but that might actually be answered soon enough. Maybe she's a former member of it.
Also, noting the binary code on the wall, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. I wouldn't really say that Futaba's is like my favorite palace or anything, but I can still appreciate the art style quite a bit. I mean, it's like I think that there's a certain level when it comes to how the collective unconscious works that you just have to accept that it's sort of arbitrary what things are realistic and what things are not.
In a certain way, it does make sense though, because like if you think about like our collective unconscious, I mean, we've been watching TV media about Egypt is like hundreds of years old. Like even Napoleon was fascinated by Egypt, you know?
That's true, but Futaba is a hacker. You would think it would be a little bit more like, well, I guess if I was going to say anything, I would probably say the secret base area from Persona 4, Naoto's dungeon. That's not quite what we got here. Like I said, I told you, this is a preliminary investigation, so we're not really getting a whole lot of gameplay. It's cutscenes where they stop to just go complain about how many stairs they're going to be walking up. Because that's what game we're looking. Whatever. You know, hey, at least so far we haven't really been doing anything as far as combat goes or anything. Maybe this will be a little bit more of a puzzle focus. I already know that it's not. I could see that as being like an interesting change up in how you end up doing some of the stuff. I mean, there's also a question that comes up here, which is Futaba's not really evil, I think. I don't think she's supposed to be evil. So can the Phantom Thieves cure mental illness? Because I think that's maybe almost more impressive than the whole stealing hearts thing.
Well,
and might be something you want to pursue a little bit more than. Yeah. No, that's not where it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's like they could literally they could make that their business model. They could make billions of dollars.
I would do so much. I think that would be pretty interesting. Well, okay. Let's just be honest. That's Psychonauts. We're talking about Psychonauts.
Oh, okay, nice.
I'm just realizing that right now. It's like, oh yeah, that's what that is, isn't it? Except, I mean, you know, the Phantom Thieves are a little bit more comprehensive in their efforts.
But this way, just fucking imagine going to like this mystical, psychological pyramid, you know, in the middle of like the mind space of your town. Just completely like this mind-blowing experience, and just like going with them, and they're just all complaining, but there's a lot of stairs. It sucks.
A lot of stairs, and it's too hot here. Nah. I want to stare at Anne's tits. Well, I mean, let's be honest here. The Phantom Thieves have never really had any, like, awe or wonder at the incredible powers they've been bestowed with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been kind of a, like, sort of weird thing, if I'm being honest. I always said, like, way early on that if they... It's strange that they never had a figuring out how to use our superpowers scene, which is such a common thing in other media of a similar type.
Yeah, like, I mean, to the point where you're probably picturing something when you hear the word, like, figuring out their superpowers scene. Like, you're probably picturing, like, fucking...
Think about Sam Raimi, Spider-Man. when he's figuring out how to shoot the webs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good scene, and that's one that I think they were missing out on in this game in particular. Whee! Okay.
Everyone just standing around.
Yeah, well, no, she went transparent and then floated up a couple feet in the air.
Oh, okay.
Which I guess was important.
That was not clear to me from here.
It's
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
no.
That makes sense.
And there she goes. Well, anyway, that's a better look at Futaba if you didn't actually know what she looked like.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, like an Egyptian queen, but still. Oh, also just wholesale reference to. Oh wait, no. First, I got this. I guess this is supposed to imply that the problem she's having, at least as of currently, because normally she wasn't really too much of a hikikomori before. That it's something to do, maybe like the Black Mask guy has been infiltrating her palace and kind of aggravating the issues that she's been having.
Yeah, like she literally has like depression, and she believes that she killed her mother when we know for a fact that actually her mother jumped in front of her car, and she's just not able to deal with that.
Does that count as evil car, by the way, for the Persona predictions?
Oh.
It definitely counts as suicide yet again. Okay, anyway, yeah, I was going to say wholesale reference to Indiana Jones. As you do. It was one of those things where I wonder, it's like was Indiana Jones that much of a...
Game over, it just crushes them. That's the end of the game.
Yeah, if only. But, I mean, that'll teach them to completely disregard any sort of danger they encounter in the metaverse. Which has been a weird thing. It's like you'd think that they would talk a little bit more about how they're actually risking their lives to do this each time, but that never really comes up. Well, anyway. So, yeah, and now we just leave. Because that was the preliminary. Well, anyway, yeah, I always wonder, it's like with... obviously, Indiana Jones' big thing here in America, but that's also, based off of old comics that were popular around here. I always wonder how much international reach that has. That's about how much people in other countries knew about Die Hard, for example, during a stream a while back. And it's like, oh no, actually, people are very, very familiar with that series.
You got to think even people who don't watch a lot of American media, it's same if you watch The Simpsons, you're getting all of these references. You watch Family Guy, anything like that, you're getting all.
Still, I don't know. It's like Indiana Jones, Die Hard. I just thought was so much more American in style. Yeah, it's just me, I suppose.
I feel like American movies, from the quote golden age of the 60s and 70s and stuff, and I guess to an extent the 80s, those Spielberg kind of films. I feel like those are completely ubiquitous, and everyone knows about them across the world, even people who are, we wouldn't regard as not wealthy or anything. I think American culture is pretty ubiquitous, at least that kind of nostalgic stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's my opinion.
Anyway,
I could be completely wrong on that, though.
We've changed up where we're going to be meeting in the hideout now, so that's cool. I mean, haven't we have just been meeting here the entire time then? Because, if we're not even going to be... obviously there's the whole reason of Sakura is here a lot. So, seems like it would be a bad idea, but I guess we're just kind of disregarding that now.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong
rather than
with
just
you,
meeting
Luigi?
up, in public all the time. Okay, so yes, maybe there's a little bit of embellishment that I did on the dialogue there, but not that much, actually. Only a slight bit. Only tiny tad. There's a point here where I'm just like, They just put in "and" for eye candy, didn't they? I hate this stupid fucking game. Oh. Well, anyway, yeah, hideout's now in LeBlanc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that does seem to like cinch it that it is like some sort of metaverse thing, because otherwise why would the big like red splash appear there?
Yeah, like that wasn't just, oh, that's just a, you know, a hallucination or something. No, it's clearly that's something magical that's happening.
I don't know, I'm interested in because I already thought that it's like maybe that's the reason why Futaba is using like the name Alibaba and is, you know, using the Morgana head, because the actual Black Mask character has been kind of harassing her in the metaverse as of right now. Maybe. This is entirely speculation. I don't know. That's Ryuji. Why? No, don't ask for this sort of stuff.
Yeah, what a stupid question. Like, he literally just hacked it, or she literally just hacked into this fucking conversation.
Yeah, it's like her skills are manifold, clearly.
Like, can you imagine like the amount of hacking it would take to hack into somebody's group messages? Like, not like a
That's like not even just private servers. That's private servers for a very particular person without no, how terrible. Poor Mishima.
You fucking idiot.
And yeah, he has not even been brought into the loop of what's going on. Oh, she's your replacement. Sorry, Mishima. And we got rid of the website because we don't need it anymore. We already got a better Mishima.
Oh, you did. You got a better Mishima.
Yeah, no, I guess you're still here for now.
Mishima's face is so funny.
It's so I feel so bad for the guy. We couldn't have even invited him to sushi earlier,
yeah.
Which is still like
that's the bare
like,
minimum.
come on, of anyone.
Mishima is just like the Charlie Brown of this game.
I don't know. Charlie Brown had more stuff going on.
Well, he had a lot of friends. He just was depressed.
Yeah. It's an exploration of childhood depression, whereas Mishima was an exploration of
Just
trying to get acceptance from your friends and failing.
Mishima's just kind of a dork. It's not his fault. Like,
yeah, but it is the character that I'm playing as fault that he's not doing more to kind of include him in the whole like a group that he has done so much for already.
I can't tell if this is actually good culinary advice.
Worcestershire sauce.
Is that? I wonder if that's like that in the Japanese version, or if it's just like.
It is.
It is.
I can guarantee.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a. I saw the Japanese version of that too. It's accurate.
That's surprising because I would have assumed it would have been like, you know, oyster sauce or something like that. You know,
Right.
just,
no, it is.
or fish sauce.
No, I mean, if it was, it would just be fish sauce in English too. Don't you remember? It's like at one point in time during the God, what is it called? Classroom scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like they actually tried to get us to decode the meaning of a Japanese word.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Like not even localized at all.
Mhm.
Like was it like kakashiki or something like that? And there's that good mission start this time. Like, guys, this is episode 56. What are you doing? What are you doing, game? Just in case you forgot, here's a tutorial that you've already seen.
Hey.
Oh God. Anyway, actually speaking of like localizations, I was just saying that it's like they've been pretty accurate so far, but despite the fact that it says days until the cleanse in the upper right corner there, in Japanese it is days until X Day.
What did you say?
Well, or just X Day, I think. Which I don't know why they changed that.
I think yeah, both of them work pretty well. Like it's kind of like it feels like the Purge in English,
I'm
but
honestly surprised.
X-Day is pretty sinister.
Everywhere we
Like
looked
what
was
the hell's
just
gonna
desert.
happen?
Yeah, that would also have worked.
yeah.
I don't know. I
All the
can't
other
think of
ones
like any
until
reason
now
why
have just
it
been normal
wouldn't
cities
be
outside of the
X Day in
distortion
English,
itself.
but I don't know.
Thanks to that.
Oh
we
yes,
didn't
this
know
is
we were in a
something. It's like
palace our first
again
time going to
another
Kamashida's.
56 episodes in, we finally get
It's still part of the palace,
some
though.
explanation as
The city
to
may not have been
what's up with the
distorted,
entire
but
city
it was
around each one of
cognition.
the palaces.
Palace rulers may have
And
been
the answer
criminals,
is
but
that,
they were social
well,
enough to know the city layout.
that's actually still part of the
Well,
palace.
in fairness,
that's
like,
not some
there's
sort of-
nothing
Factor
wrong
that
with
she isn't
having
even
like
interested in the
exposition
outside
late.
world.
It's more just like oh, what did you think you
That's
were
why the whole
doing?
thing
Like
is
I
a
love
big
that. Like when they
desert.
reveal something like oh, you
Understand
thought you were doing
considering
something,
her
and then it's like
lifestyle.
you're
Not
actually
many
doing
famous
something different.
criminals are
That
shut-ins
can
like
work
her,
really
though.
well. The
Hopefully
problem is
that
that it's
means
just
we
not
Yeah,
very
but that does-
all
interesting.
this
It's
desert
like,
business in the
There's
future. That
well, the
might
other
not
thing is that there's
necessarily
been
be
so
the
many
case.
questions of just like,
Many
what
upper
happens if
class
you go and
citizens
explore that
travel
city?
by
Could you go
limo
and
or
find other
plane, so
palaces? Would that
they
be a
don't
good way to
know
go
or
find
care
targets
about
for your
city
whole
life.
crusade and everything? And it's not until again episode 56 that we finally got an explanation of,
Wouldn't you
oh
wanna
no
go
no
to
no, that's
palace
just
and
also
wait?
part of the palace. It's just that's people
think
don't
a
care
fine
as
bank
much
is quite
about
around,
it,
thanks.
so it doesn't get
I have to
wacky
say, though,
distorted.
the topic of the area outside the distortion is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean it would be pretty
Depending on the
fascinating if we
criminal,
actually like
there may be an
saw
exact replica of
any of
Tokyo
it.
within their palace.
and
I'd
weren't just
love to
you know
examine the aesthetics
chatting
of such a
about it
strange
halfway
place
through
at
the
least
game.
once.
Yeah, I'd like to too,
You
but
don't got a damn thing but art in that head of yours.
we're not
huh?
going to. We're gonna have a conversation about it and
But
then
it's
never do anything
true
with it
that
again.
An observant criminal could have a true to reality city in their palace.
I mean, like the
Although even
idea
if
of
such a place
like
did
going,
exist, it's
not
not
like
like
we'd have
we'd
any
have
use
any
for
use
it.
for it.
I guess. I mean, I'm not entirely sure.
Let's go.
Well, anyway, let's get in there. We know.
Yeah,
Thank you for. Yeah, we know.
yeah. Thank you for that explanation. I was confused.
Like we've already had that explanation. That's the
It's at
fourth
least 4
time
times
now.
because they definitely said like, "Oh, why didn't we change our clothes? Oh, because she doesn't see it as a threat." And then when you change clothes, oh, it's because she sees you as a threat. And now this is the
Didn't they
fourth
also
one.
say that like one more time when they first came to the palace or something? I mean, I guess it's like I shouldn't be surprised, but somehow I'm still disappointed.
I also like that. Okay, you know, just we can't go to the interesting part. We got to go to the boring, stupid part first.
No, we gotta go do the cutscene already. But first, I mean, I guess I never actually looked up here because I was kind of confused that I couldn't walk up the dirt thing. Oh yeah, there's what I was talking about before with the cyber jar. Take a look at that Minecraft
Oh,
thing.
that's pretty cute.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. And that's why I couldn't go up that, because it was used for that? Really? That's
That's
it?
a pretty cool
why
little
why
scene.
was
I
that
like that
important?
little bit of flavor there. Where you just like,
It sort of feels like it's something they had programmed into the game, but they didn't have anywhere to
Yeah.
put it, so they're just like, right outside the palace, sure. Well, anyway, get a good look at Futaba's shadow in the upper left corner. Not that it really makes too much of a
I just
difference.
think we need to change her art. That's what we need to do.
In what way?
I don't know, like she kind of has some, you know, thoughts that are. She's kind of evil because she thinks her mother. She's blaming herself for her mother's suicide. I think that's evil, and we need to fix it. We need to change her heart, and
Once again, okay, that's not part of the whole we should just give up Persona prediction, but still. Morgana did say it. Well, anyway. I mean, yeah, I know. I saw one right outside.
yeah.
I've already done that.
I like that. We'll have to investigate every suspicious place inside and out, and it's like, okay.
Well, not until they tell you you need to.
Is there fast travel in this game?
There is, yeah, between the safe rooms.
Okay.
So it's not that bad. Actually, this is a very straightforward palace entirely, as you can see from the whole.
Yeah.
Like it's mostly a big staircase that then splits off into other rooms, but they always kind of go back there to the big staircase. Sure. What's up? Look, I'm sorry I tried to kill you yesterday. Can I get some help with some stuff, though? Because, you know, we gotta have some filler before we start up the dungeon proper. Oh, man. It's like this. Speaking of that slide being an asset that felt like they just kind of had it and they wanted to put it somewhere in the game. Well,
That was
the town is very much another variety of that. So did I. There was a big old anime cutscene.
also I like
Alright.
this relationship that they have with Futaba / Alibaba is so ridiculous right now. Like she cut off contact from them, and then
Yusuke put it best with tsundere. Which, I mean, is not quite the way that I would have expected this plot to go, but whatever. Look, whatever gets us into there already.
Is she like supposed to be a high school student, or is she like 12? I can't really tell.
I think she's actually a year younger than main character.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna fucking drive in the car. So we're gonna go find it to our left and go to the car and drive to it. Like what?
I just observe the
hate
surroundings.
Okay, this is actually something that I gotta say right now. I think for future dungeons, I'm just not going to do the transcriptions. It's so insipid every step of the way. Like, it's not even good for studying. It's just obnoxious. This is literally the exact same conversation we just had, except now they're saying, hey, it's over there. Like, I can't keep doing this, man. It's
killing you. I can tell.
It's just everything has to have a cutscene. They have to have a dedicated tutorial for going to a different area. For opening a door. If I have to see the main characters get surprised at a fucking door opening one more time, I'm gonna piss myself in rage.
Well, what they need to do is more skeuomorphic design. The doors should look like doors, and that's how you should have the mental model of a door when you go to approach.
Yeah, but even if they do, they don't. They still have to be like, hey, I can't believe that door opened. Watch your job. Guys, can you believe that door opened? We should go through that door, jokester.
Honestly, the gameplay, can you just speak to this just so we're not completely shitting all over the game? The gameplay seems fine.
Oh, gameplay's great. I love the press turn system. I still love it in this game. I still like how they have changed up the technicals to giving a little bit more of an interesting twist on that. And of course, like the fusing of personas and everything is a lot more, you have a lot more control over it than in the past, but in a way that doesn't really feel like it's super overpowered either. So I can appreciate that.
And I also want to say the music is great. I don't really get, that's something I'm not really getting when I'm doing these recordings, because just the way that we do this, it's actually silent for me. But I have gone back, and the music is pretty fucking catchy. There's a lot of great tracks.
Oh, music's great. I mean, the town here looks great. I love the look of this town. It's pretty good. It's just that I think that's we've said this many a time before, and I still kind of stick to it. That it's like it's just a very, very poorly written.
Yeah.
And even some parts I still like.
And
like some of the social links I think are pretty good. There are some parts, of course, that I think that the writers are complete cowards on, but it's like I just still think that hey, Torinosuke as a Willy Loman type of character is interesting.
Yep.
But again, they have to have a cutscene where the characters are surprised that a door opened every single time.
Also, they should shoot him. That's another Indiana Jones reference.
They do have guns.
They're not gonna.
Yeah.
They're not gonna shoot him. Okay.
They're not going to. In fact, this is going to be like... This is a quote-unquote puzzle that you've seen a million times in a video game, but we're going to get cutscened through the entire course of it. It's like it's... No part is not cutscened. But yeah, it's like I guess hey, that's another thing. I think you said last time when I also proposed this sort of deal that it's like, so we're just eventually going to get to the point where we're not doing the transcription anymore, are we? And it's like, I'm going to try to avoid that, but if it comes down to it.
Well, I mean, I think we're at the point where you're about. Have you made it to the fourth? This is technically the fourth dungeon, so it's just kind of.
This is the fourth palace.
This is a pre-arc, like.
And we're of the stuff that I have recorded and mostly ready to go right now. I don't have quite the next episodes ready, but soon enough, it's like we should be through it. I'm most of the way through it.
So I mean, and at that point, I mean, you're only talking about three more dungeons and then the end game, basically. So I don't think that there's.
Yeah, but don't forget that it's like we got 26 days till X Day. That's a lot of social links to be doing.
Again, you've said that aren't you getting pretty close to running out of the social links? What are you?
I don't think we're that close yet.
Okay.
I think we've got some time.
Yeah.
Because we're only about like halfway through for a decent amount of them. That's maybe we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, like, I
eventually.
like this is one of those
I'm
things
just
that
like
would be really fun if it was just like you were doing. There weren't any cutscenes. This would be like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you've seen this a billion times in video games.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm doing the whole like sneaking thing and trying to like actually attack him in the same way that I would any other shadow, but that doesn't work.
Well, because everybody interrupts you, they just keep talking.
They interrupt me with the cutscenes, yes.
Oh.
Anyway, I solved that deviously difficult puzzle. Yeah, we finally did it. If you guys would shut the fuck up for 5 seconds, we could have done that so much earlier.
Honestly, and why didn't they should have split up. Like, why the fuck are they going as one group? Like,
that's also a good question, which is never going to be answered.
Like, we've got him cornered. We're all in one line.
Yep, got all your ducks in a row. Well, anyway, as you also, another thing you probably noticed is I'm not even transcribing Joker's dialogue for this anymore. Just imagine it says yes and no. There. I saved myself a lot of time.
I think you should transcribe it if it's funny.
It's never funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, do you think Joker lives up to his name in any way?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't. For being a Joker, you're not very funny.
Well, humor is subjective.
Well, I mean, that would be something more clever than what Joker could possibly manage. And that's nothing. Anyway.
Well, I mean, just to be clear, I don't want to give that scene with the Joker and Murray in the Joker. That movie we all love.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, fair. But that wasn't very clever to say, oh, humor is subjective, but whatever.
There's at least like a level of cleverness to it that would not whatever. Look, I beat Garuda. Another classic demon in the demon stable.
Shit, that guy does a lot of.
We gotta remember, I am working on the hardest mode possible. It's just, for the most part, I've had him completely shut down for this entire fight. And I thought that I could kill him with that one hit from Sandman there, but it didn't quite work out.
Can I ask?
Not that it really mattered. Nobody died.
So, are your stats like? Is it similar in any way to like D&D? I mean, it's like an RPG, but is it like charisma, wisdom, intelligence kind of stuff?
No, you got like the 5 meta stats. Like the charm, guts, knowledge, etc. That's closer to like charisma. These are just battle stats for battle.
Okay, yeah.
They're set up in a different way. There's talking stats and there's fighting stats.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Which I have been slowly but surely building up over the course of the game. Knowledge, of course, being forefront. Guts is the one that I'm still kind of behind on. We could go be talking to like Gun Guy at this point, but it's like, yeah. So anyway, the weird thing was that I was thinking that, okay, obviously this didn't really feel like it was all that important of a little story arc to go on. And it didn't really have that much impact aside from showing off the cool building stuff. But it's probably the first place that they got the Volition Stone, right?
Yeah.
This is where you would hide that, you know?
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
not even a little bit.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing else hidden there. In fact, the thing is, what I did right now is I immediately turned around and went right back into the city because I was thinking, well, that can't be it. There's got to be like a whole extra little dungeony type of thing or something, right?
Nope. Just a filler saga,
Nope.
I guess.
And that's why we're ending the episode here.
Goodbye.